catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the fun.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Justin and MaHogany YouTube channel, guys. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button.
Turn that post notification bell.
I'm your boy, Justin.
And I'm MaHogany.
Listen, guys, we are back
With another video.
with another conversation.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Ooh, child. And this is definitely one.
Yep. We're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You heard the word.
Okay.
We're getting a divorce.
So, y'all, are you going to jump right in?
I'm going to let you jump right in. This your discussion. This is what you wanted to do. This your decision. We're getting a divorce. Tell them why.
So, y'all.
Yeah.
Basically, I had a friend, she came up to me and she basically was like, we're getting a divorce. And it was a very, I would say, deep conversation that we had because I've been knowing them for a while. And though I had my own opinions about their relationship, my opinions is my opinion. It does not matter. But I knew that this was a big move for them. This was going to be a big transition. It was going to be a big transition for her. And, you know, I said, why don't we just talk about this today?
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about the topic, we're getting a divorce? Because I feel like there's so many people in relationships that God never said to be in. And they wonder why they find themselves at certain points, at certain roadblocks. And it's like, you know, God never said even to be in this relationship. And so I guess, you know, it's so much that we can unpeel in this conversation. But it's like, I want to talk about two things. One, making a decision whether to stay together or to not be together. Like, what is your thoughts on that? And if someone is in a relationship that God never said to be in, there's this big thing on divorce. Should you still exit, or should you just?
Well, you first got to unpack, in which we did a conversation that hitting go without approval, and a lot of times we find ourselves, let's say relationships, because that's what we're dealing with. Find ourselves in relationship, or people have found themselves in relationships, and you later come to find out that you basically went into the relationship, but you did not get approval from God. So you got to always make sure first, before you go, that you got God going with you.
Right.
And I think there's some kind of people where some people realize before they're going that they're going, and sometimes you go out of flesh or you go out of your desire, but is it God's desire? We have to understand that yes, everything happens for a reason, but sometimes some of the things that happen to you is not because of God, it's because of you.
Right.
So I would say making sure before you get into a relationship, before you get into a marriage, making sure God has not only that you want to go, but make sure God has given you the approval to go.
Once you're in it, like once
if you're in it,
like if you hit go without approval, I mean, what do you do? Like, you're in it already. Like, I didn't make a decision beforehand.
You got to get out if you didn't get God's approval, because you're in a fine just because, well, that's my kid's father, that's my, we've been together since high school, sweetheart. Okay, at the end of the day, sometimes you got to end one chapter and start a new one. And I know it's not easy as said as it's done, but you got to make sure you got to end that chapter and begin the next chapter.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And I think it's a lot of people that's like, that's my child's father. We have too much stuff together. Nobody's going to love me like they did or like they do. We've been together this amount of time. Might as well stay together. And I think people, reason they don't exit is just because they put all of those things that I just listed
they do.
As more important than their own happiness and following what God has said.
They do.
And so if you ever do find, we're not definitely promoting divorce like, oh, you know, that's the best thing ever. But it's like, if you've got yourself, this could be across the board on anything. If you've got yourself in something that God did not say to get in, you need to get out.
Get out. Run. Get out. Get out. If God has not approved it, get out, because you don't want to live your life. You only live on this side once. So make sure you live your life to the best ability that you can. if you are in something that God has told you, whether it be a relationship or whatever it is. If you're listening to this video, you're not married, but you're in something, God said leave, resign, get out. Don't spend 20, 15, 10, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20 years in something that God has not given you the approval for, and you miss out on your destiny.
I know there's a lot of you that's probably like, okay, I hear you, but it's not that easy to actually leave, when you've been connected for so long. And I think that's a conversation we can have another day. But for right now, you can definitely get my book, I'm Not the Girl I Used to Be, where I talk about how to disconnect from unhealthy relationships. I talk about it all. It's transparent, it's raw. Insert my book here. Definitely check it out on Amazon. Link is in the description box. So that's on how you get out. We'll talk about that again, in another conversation. But
anything that you've been doing for a long period of time, anytime you change your normal, because that's technically your normal. Yeah. Anytime you change your normal and do something different, you're going to be nervous. And I think that's a great thing God has instilled with us, that when we have a nervous feeling, being nervous doesn't mean you're unsaved. Right. Being nervous doesn't mean God is not with you. Right. Being nervous does not mean you're not humble. Being nervous is not that you mean you're making decisions out of, just random decisions. Being nervous makes you aware and makes you humble, that making sure that God, this is what you want. I'm nervous about it. I don't know, but being nervous is not a demon or devilish feeling. You got to be nervous and still do it. And,
I'm a firm believer that, the more you walk into what it is and you push aside that nervous feeling, the better you'll be. Yes. And the better you'll feel, every single time, you make a step in the right direction.
You got to embrace the new. When something's new to you, you got to embrace the new. It's going to feel different. People going to talk about you. Yeah. People ain't going to understand. People going to have a lot to say. People going to say you should have been in this. And you going to hear so much. But you got to learn that even when you're nervous, even when it's not your normal, even when it doesn't feel right, you just got to keep going. Right. You see what I'm saying? And get out of it.
I agree. And I think, it's rather interesting because I feel like sometimes, when people are in these relationships, everyone's like, you got to get out. You should have been left him. You should have been left her. But then when you get out and you start embracing your happiness, people have something to say about that. So it's can you, how does that work? I know for me personally, I've grown to learn that people are going to have something to say about you regardless. Whether you're miserable, whether you're happy, whether you're in the middle, whether you're doing what's right, whether you're doing what's wrong. Yeah. People are going to have something to say regardless. So if you live this world trying to make people not have something to say, that ain't you. It ain't no way to not do that.
My grandmother taught me during my childhood that people are going to talk about you when you're living and people are going to talk about you when you're dead. And you can't please everybody. When you're going through a divorce, and we're not just talking about, I'm going to say divorce from a relationship, but when you're divorcing things of your past, people are going to always have something to say. People are going to agree with it. Some people are not going to agree with it. Some people are going to like the new you. Some people are not going to like the you. Yeah. That is life, but you got to do what's best for you. And sometimes divorcing a certain person or situation, it sometimes means you got to divorce some people. Yeah. You got to when you make the decision to divorce, you're making the decision to divorce a lot of things, not just a person. Even when people are getting a divorce, you're divorcing. You might be divorcing some family members. Yeah. You might be divorcing some friends.
You're divorcing a lifestyle.
You're divorcing a lifestyle, and that's what divorcing is. So if you're in that place, embrace it. Don't worry about what people say. You don't got time where you got to do what's best for you, because the joy that God has given you, the world didn't give it to you, and the world can't take it away.
What if someone's in a place where they're like, okay, I don't know if I should get a divorce, but I shouldn't get a divorce. Because and just to go a little deeper, because I don't want to sit here and say what signs necessarily mean you should get a divorce. You can chime in on that, because I feel like that's one of those things where it's not black and white. Yeah. But I will say, if you're with someone and they are not willing to make the certain changes, you both aren't willing to make the certain changes, then that can definitely be a red flag. Now, I want to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you tell if someone's really going to change or if they really just saying that? Because there is a cycle, too, of people saying, like, they're going to change, but they never do. And a lot of people hold on to potential, but potential ain't promised. They can have the potential to be a good person, potential to be a good father, potential, but it's not promised that they're going to actually do that change.
No, it's not. So, it's not promised anyway. You have to, what you said, I think you said it best, you have to evaluate the decision for yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing tells you that at a certain point that after you follow these certain steps that you should get a divorce.
Right.
A divorce is a choice.
Yeah.
There's no, you do chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, 4, 5, and if by the time you get to 9 it doesn't work, you're divorced. You have to make that decision. You have to feel within your heart. And I think that's why God gives us choices. Yeah. It's not God's hand to permanently stamp or sign the paper for your divorce. You have to make the decision. That's just like the divorcing of your past. If you want to embrace your past and go into your future, it's all about a choice. Put that in the comments. It's all about a choice. There's no book to it. There's no decision. There's no 12 steps. It's your choice. Are you going to walk into better, or are you going to stay in the old?
Yeah.
What is your choice? But to stay there, you have to understand, you have to basically come to the conclusion what brings you to, if you basically have to went through everything, prayer, therapy. Some of us need to get therapists. Some of us need couple therapy. Some of us need personal therapy. Some of us need anger management. Listen, it's okay to be saved and get you an anger management doctor. It's okay to be saved and go get you somebody to help you with time management. You need Jesus and all the doctors that you can get. Yeah. Come on. No one taught us these things. It's nothing.
I think it's such a big thing. Like, basically, if you turn to a therapist, that means you're not turning to God.
It's nothing weak about going to therapy. No, you need to go to the therapy and pray, because you need to get some practical and spiritual. Mm-hmm. You can sit there and be delivered, but I need you to, when you get up, to know how practically to deal with the marriage. We can get spiritual, we can cast out demons, but at the end of the day, we need to know practically how to talk to each other. Practically how to love on each other, practically how to take both ways of how we were raised and come together. Come on, you can speak in tongues, you can shout all day, you can cast out demons, but at the end of the day, once the Holy Ghost has calmed down, we can't speak in tongues forever. We need to know how to speak to each other, because a lot of y'all are more fluent in speaking tongues than you are fluent in speaking your spouse's love language.
I just really want to drive the point, I feel like, of just having Jesus and a therapist, because I feel like it's been so, especially in our time of growing up, it's like all you need is Jesus. And don't get me wrong, all you do need is Jesus, but Jesus did provide. That's like sitting there and saying, all I need is Jesus, I don't need no water. Like, no, he put the water so you don't have to.
You need Jesus and the faucet.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
You need Jesus and the refrigerator.
So exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think sometimes people get a little too over spiritual with things. Like, God provided, like, you, all I need is Jesus, but you need a roof over your head too. He created how, so we have to understand that it's like Jesus put these resources out for us to utilize.
So we got to make sure we're starting at the altar, but along the way that we're getting the practical, great advice, wisdom to help us in our marriages, because I want you to stay married. Yeah. Listen, you're going to get on each other's nerves. That ain't going to change. No. You're going to get into mine, get on my nerves. I get on my nerves too. I get on her nerves. She really get on my nerves. I really get on her nerves. You're going to get on each other's nerves. Yeah. But make sure you have somebody. You need a mentor or somebody you can talk to. Stop talking about I'm tired. I've had friends that too like this. You'll be talking, I've never been one to take my business to work, or, school or family or friend. But, you got some different, I'm tired of so-and-so. They're talking about their wife. I'm tired of Paula doing this. You know what I'm saying? No, don't take that mess to your friends. They ain't your therapist. If you want to tell your business, go get a therapist.
Listen.
If you want to stop
telling... paid to listen to that.
Stop telling your brothers at work and your sisters at work, your girlfriend and people on your lunch break. My wife. No. Get you if you can share, sit on the couch and open up to a therapist. Come on, and then some of y'all probably saying, "Well, I'm just venting. No. You venting, but you want solutions, right?
Right. Okay.
You upset, but you want solutions, right?
Right.
Get you a therapist. Get you somebody, because though if you keep just talking about it, it's not going to get fixed. We have to be in the business, and we have to be in the mindset that what I want nothing but solutions. All 2023, I want nothing but solution. If it ain't solutioning, and if it ain't solutioning and it ain't providing a solution, I don't want no part in it. One thing I asked couples, two things were missing. What was the problem mainly in their relationship? A lot of people say communication. A lot of people say sex. I don't know statistically which one is higher than the other. But
I think communication is
communication. We got to communicate.
But
We
both
got
of
to
them are
talk.
just-
And if you don't know how to talk, go to therapy till you learn how to shut up and let the other person listen. Because I hear that a lot of people like, communication. We ain't communicating. Two can't walk together. Come on. I feel the scriptures unless they agree. So that's why your house divided. The foundation is slanted. That's why the atmosphere is off. Because you got two people on two different pages. And a lot of times you got to be careful when two people on two different pages, because they end up in two different books.
Yeah.
We're not just talking, I'm helping you. I'm dealing with divorce, but I'm helping you in your relationship right now before it gets to that point.
Yeah.
Because you being married, I can ask probably any people in marriage 50 years, 40 years, 60 years, 10 years, 2 years, 1 year, 3 years. You're going to think about divorce, because the person going to get on your nerves. You ain't thought about it, you ain't been married long enough. You ain't went through long enough. But my goal is we got to make sure that we're just like we need to take care of our health. We got to take care of our marriages. Just listen, stop trying to, stop trying to do what you see on Instagram and Facebook and social media. Oh, that's how I want my marriage like, and Listen, get with what God wants you to have.
Yeah.
I'm a big person, because what we seeing on Twitter, when we seeing on Instagram, Facebook, is not reality. And it's hard because, and I'm going to end out on this, and we gotta go. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. But I want to talk about basically, I think one of the things that brings divorce is communication. But it is very hard in marriage, and we deal with a lot about how to get married, but we don't deal about how to stay married. And I think one of the reasons that keeps us from staying married, and we don't realize even at the wedding, when we become one, the problem that a lot of people deal with too, they're coming from two different households.
Yeah.
They're coming from two different childhoods. You were raised to do this. That person was raised to do that. But this person was raised to do it this way, and I was raised to do it that way. Man, my mama said over here, and my mama said, and it's like one of those things you did in school. What was those things you kind of
diagram? What is it called? A circle diagram?
It's a circle diagram when you got that person insane.
Yeah.
And sometimes you will find out there's so many differences.
Yeah.
We are in love with each other. We like each other. The sex is great. We tearing each other up. Can't stay off each other. But the problem is we got two different backgrounds. And a lot of problem why couples stay in argument is because we're trying to figure out how to take these two different backgrounds and collide and make one and be on the same page. But it's hard when for 18 years or 19 years you were taught something this way, and then all of a sudden you put a ring on the finger, you go to the church, because you're going to get married, but then you have to figure out in one matter of a moment how to change what you were taught, because it may not even be right, and how to you're colliding. How do I collide? Because a lot of times you will get married, you will go on a honeymoon, but at the end of the day, you're still trying to figure out how do you collide? How do we put this together? But you have to be careful, because if mama and daddy don't get it figured out of how to take those backgrounds and what she believes and he believes, what they've been talking, their belief systems, and all of this stuff of how to figure out the household, then the children are confused, because there's two different things going on. But we're trying to figure out when really it's not the fault of mom and dad, but mom and dad are having a hard time to collide because you've been doing something for 18 years, then all of a sudden you have to change. And you have to, and that's why marriage is not a walk in the park. It's a challenge. It's something that you have to sacrifice for. And that's why I believe, because you're still taking two belief systems and how you were raised and how your mom did, and it may not be right, because we all know, and we can say this, and I'm in and out, that we, me and you say we know what generational curse is, but sometimes some of the things we still care are generational curse. We don't know it. So I want to encourage you that some of the frustration that's going on in your house, some of the upsetness, is because that you're trying to collide two different histories together. And it makes it even harder when you got mother-in-laws and father-in-laws that don't like. There's a lot going on. I can get into that but trying to collide. Some of y'all are at that point right now, and I just want to keep encouraging. Keep trying to figure it out, because it's kind of like this. You're trying to figure it out and how to figure it out, and eventually you'll figure it out, and it's gonna connect, and it's gonna come together like that. But hope this video you've enjoyed it.
Man, Chris, you said so much. I hope y'all took notes, because that was a message there.
Yeah,
okay, so much.
It's gotta be and that's what it is. It's a head-on collision, but making sure we've collided, we become one. And this is the question. We'll say this, and I want you to ask it. We'll leave it. You become one. I'm talking to marriage couples. You're on the same page. You become one, but are you one holistically? Are you one truly mentally? That's love. We get naked in the sheets, but it's getting naked in our minds and making sure we're on the same page. Listen, we gotta go. That's a deep conversation. We have another one.
Man,
listen.
We gotta have a part 2, man.
If you enjoyed this conversation, let us know in the comments. You
Yeah.
want our podcast to come even more quickly, let us know in the comments.
Yes.
But we got to get ready to go. We love you guys so much. Make sure you followed us on Instagram. You liked us on Facebook.
Yeah.
And just stay connected with us, because so much is happening for Justin and...
MaHogany.
Listen, guys, hit the subscribe button. My name is Justin.
And I'm MaHogany.
Today's shout-out notification winners goes to boom, 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 boom. Thank you for being the true supporters you are. Listen, guys, until next time, remember, if you keep it locked,
We're going to show you how to keep your life lit.
listen, we're out of here.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the fun.